It may look taken straight out of a futuristic science fiction movie from the 1960s, but this strange-looking four-legged machine was genuine and entirely usable. Developed by General Electric for the U.S. Army, the walking truck was envisioned as the ultimate ground vehicle that could be used to overcome every obstacle the jungles of Vietnam had to offer. Footage taken by the Army and GE truly showed that the walking truck was the most advanced machine of its time. Operated by a driver with full control of its four legs, it had an impressive hydraulic system that could multiply by 4 the force exerted by the operator. With its impressive strength, the driver could push and pull small vehicles and move every conceivable object that dared stand in its way. The walking truck. The Jeep had proven itself during World War II and the conflict in Korea during the 1950s, carrying soldiers, weapons, ammunition, and supplies across all types of terrains. Still, the military knew that Vietnam was different. The Asian country was made up of vast, inscrutable jungles where trees, bushes, and other vegetation made crossings tougher and more complicated. As such, the Army began to consider adopting a new all-terrain vehicle that could carry the infantry to the most challenging locations where no other ground vehicle had access. In 1962, the United States Army Tank Automotive Command and the Advanced Research Projects Agency, or ARPA, partnered with renowned company General Electric to build a unique machine that could be used by the infantry for the upcoming conflict in Vietnam. The peculiar machine had to be able to go where tractors could get stuck. More importantly, this manned walking machine had to be armed with arms and legs. Such a machine had to emulate the movements of other four-legged animals to traverse difficult landscapes, and General Electric immediately got to work on the unique design. The company chose renowned engineer Ralph Mosher to come up with a quadruped walking vehicle that could help the infantry carry equipment over rough terrain. Mosher was a veteran engineer who was involved in numerous futuristic designs, such as the first Iron Man suit, and he did not disappoint. The result was the cybernetic anthropomorphous machine, or CAM, but it was quickly dubbed the walking truck. Driving the CAM. In the walking truck, a human operator sat inside the machine and individually controlled each of the four legs through a series of pedals and levers. It weighed about 3,000 pounds, the legs were 12 inches long, and the driver sat 15 feet above the ground. In its time, it was the most advanced and strangest-looking machine ever developed. Based on an excerpt from Popular Science published in March of 1969, driving the four-legged machine was tougher and more intricate than it looked. As seen in footage taken by General Electric engineers and Army personnel, a tractor-type seat placed in the center of the CAM left both arms and legs free so that the driver could manipulate the machine without obstacles. The seat was fully adjustable and could be moved up or down, fore and aft, and could also be tilted at an angle resembling any other passenger car seat of the era. The upper levers were used with the hands of the operator, and they manipulated the front legs. Meanwhile, a pair of lower pedals were used with the legs to operate and direct the rear ones. According to General Electric, the driver's movements were amplified up to 4 times when using the machine, and the applied strength was only limited by the pressure on the hydraulic system. Testing. During testing, GE recorded a driver using the impressive hydraulic system. The footage shows the operator gently touching a light bulb placed on a pillow on the ground with the front legs. Based on the pressure applied to the hydraulic system, the leg seemingly touches and pushes the light bulb without ever breaking it. The foot could exert a force of over 1,500 pounds in any direction, and could be even more powerful depending on the leg linkage position. Several tests included pushing different types of Jeeps with the 4 legs. The first test involved pushing a red Jeep with the front legs. Each of the legs comprised a hip joint, a thigh, a knee joint, and a lower section with the foot, and there were no ankle joints. Although clunky at first, the walking truck quickly managed to push the smaller vehicle a couple of feet away, and even put the front legs above the truck to play with it, pushing and pulling it as if it were a toy. For the second test, the walking truck pushed an olive Jeep and its driver several feet away with the force of its front leg. The hip joints from the legs could turn both sideways and in a fore and aft plane. In contrast, the knee joints could only move fore and aft. Regarding coordination, Popular Science specified that, quote, "A mechanical linkage coordinates hip and joint motions in each leg, and mechanical stops limit angularity." The hip joint allowed the thigh to swing up to 70 degrees forward and 20 degrees backward, and mechanical stops prevented unwanted movements. This resulted in an unprecedented level of precision between man and machine for perilous tasks. The machine could also be used to deal with dangerous materials or objects that require meticulous care and precautions. In addition, hydraulic actuators induced motion in the truck's legs, linked to the control's motions, such as the pedals and the hand grips. The controls picked up both the force applied and the position from where it came, and reacted accordingly. As for the hand controls, both were made up of a pistol grip, knee angles, and bevel gears to make it as maneuverable as possible. Thus, the operator could twist, push, pull, lift, or lower the handles. If properly used, the walking truck basically became an extension of the driver, replicating every movement made by the operator. Maintaining balance. Operating the front and rear legs is one thing, but maintaining balance while walking is another. According to testimonies from the few operators who got the chance to hop into the walking truck, getting used to walking some 15 feet above the ground was only a matter of practice. This action can be seen in some of the footage captured by the Army and GE during testing. Some clips show the drivers struggling to advance correctly, taking small and slow baby steps before moving with ease. The most difficult part came when attempting rear motions, such as tail end or rear leg movements. Those movements were out of the operator's sight, leading to slower reactions. Legacy. Despite the groundbreaking technological advancements of the walking truck, after almost 6 years of continuous tests, the project was brought to an abrupt end in 1970, after funding was cut and the Army realized it had no place in a combat zone. The main reason was that the level of coordination required to operate the four-legged machine was too much for a soldier fighting in a combat zone. Most operators ran out of breath after just 15 minutes of using the machine, and it was estimated that the average soldier would not be able to use the truck for more than 5 minutes in Vietnam, where heat and combat stress would certainly drain a soldier's concentration. The Seoul General Electric walking truck can be appreciated today at the United States Army Transport Museum located at Fort Eustis. Besides its red paint finish, the futuristic-looking walking truck has remained the same since it was last used by GE and the Army during the 1960s. Also, history and cinema enthusiasts believe that this unique four-legged machine prototype was a source of inspiration for the fictional vehicles of Star Wars, such as the AT-AT or the Scout Walker. Although it never left the testing grounds, the legacy of the walking truck has found new life in Boston Dynamics' Big Dog military robot and other prototypes that imitate four-legged mammals. Thank you for watching our video. Please like and subscribe to our Dark Documentaries channels to find more exciting historical content. And don't forget to hit the bell icon to be notified of our newest videos. Also, let us know what you think of the cybernetic anthropomorphous machine. Do you think it could have been effectively used in combat?